G'day, how you going? This is Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my video. I've got a portrait layout to do for you today, show you beginners what we can get up to with some acrylic paints. I've got me muffin and me coffee, me iced coffee to fuel me up. And I'm a bit excited today because I've gone and made myself, I'll put that down there, but when I turn the camera off I'm going to have a big bite and a gulp. But I've gone and made myself a stick because I'm sick of using my big paintbrush to support my hand. So I've just made it like a T square and it sits on the end of my panel like that. I do have a screw in there to keep it off the painting, and I can put it wherever I want and rest on it, or coming up this way as well, okay? So I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, that'll sit somewhere out the way and we'll get this canvas going. I hope you can see that I've just drawn in the top horizon line here, or what we would call the horizon line. It's going to be a waterfall. I've got some, it's like looking up at these tree canopies there, and down the bottom of this long waterfall we're going to have movement, dark rock behind it to highlight the water, and just the lake coming to a shallow bank here. Okay, down on my palette here. Oops, that's me muffin. That's not the paint. I've better move that. We'll get some paint going. So I have my soft body white paint, student paint, craft paint, flow white paint, whatever you call it in your country. That soft stuff there. Whew, thank God I got that off my chest. Now I've got a puddle of retarder because I'm going to retard this a different way. And I've got my French ultramarine, quinacridone magenta, and some mid-grey. So I want to just, the sky area, I'll get the medium retarder. This is going to slow the drying time of the paint, acrylic. And just my sky area, because that's where I'm going to do all the blending, I want to paint this retarder on there. It looks like a baby oil, but it's not baby oil. I don't know what it's made out of. I haven't tried tasting it yet. You know how you sometimes get a nice smelling soap and you're tempted to bite into it, but it still tastes yucky. Well, I haven't done that to this retarder yet, but that's what it looks like, but it's for acrylic paints. Now, just wiping the build-up of that off there, I want to get the flowing white paint now and paint my canvas white. I'm just going within my lines this time, because why I did that, it's conditioning of my canvas for the sky area to blend the way I blend. Now get the French ultramarine, mix it with some retarder as well, because I want this to blend. And this is just going to be light blue in our sky. So I'll get that all the way across the top. I'm going to push it right in. Okay, and then I'll bring it down to the horizon, doing some crisscross strokes to pull it down a bit further and massage it across. That's quite, there's not enough in here. I want some more there. So I'm just jamming it into that canvas any old way to get the paint there, and then set it down with some beautiful strokes. Alright, I want to pull the blue away now. That's pretty much all I'm going to use, and mix up the quinacridone magenta with this French ultramarine. I'll run that into the white here now. This is just a polluted horizon line. I want that real pale. So I want it about here. Just stamp it on. I'm not brushing it in because I want this to blend down into the bottom there. And I'm going to get a blending brush now and my paper towel at the same time, and I want to blend this, merge it into that blue, soften all those big ugly brush strokes out of there for a start. I'm stabbing on and off and little twists. I'm working out how the paint's dancing on my canvas. So I've got all that done. Now I'll wipe the brush and do the actual horizon line there, and so we can get all this blending, merging beautifully. Now I've mixed the littlest bit of that quinacridone magenta with the grey, and I've got some titanium white out of my tube. I'm going to use my fan brush and we'll just get some decent clouds in the sky. We've only got a small sky here. Alright, so we'll probably put something just here because you're going to see it through the canopy. We're going to have a canopy roughly here, so we don't want to go and put all clouds there. So let's blend that up quickly before this paint dries. That's alright. I'm happy with that. I'll just quickly give him a little bit of shadow colour. There we go. And I'll softly bum the bottom of that cloud out with that shadow colour. Okay, that'll do. And stamp it on. We'll get some more on there. I'm virtually coming from the middle and I'm coming overhead. Okay, see what I've done there? Leave some of the darks and lights. So we've got all sorts of blues happening in there. There we go. Just like there, that's it. Beautiful, mate. And then we'll put a simple but effective bit of a bumsy bum on that. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to softly dance that grey mixture into the white, but leaving the white and grey to a way you're not over blending too much, otherwise you're just going to destroy what you're doing. Takes practice this, please, so have a good practice at this. Now how's that looking in the monitor? That's okay. Now just to bring it home, what do we got there? Just to bring it home, we put the yumminess. So we're grabbing some more pure white and just cracking the boldness, giving some dimension to that cloud. And that's all there is to a cloud. Practice those 3 procedures onto a properly conditioned canvas the way I conditioned this one and you won't have trouble. There we go. We'll just put one more quick cloud over here, so we're moving that brush around. There we go. Blend that. Tickle the top. Pick up some of your shadow colour and blend that into the white to a degree where you're not washing it away. Wipe your brush. That's looking fine. Then put your yumminess in there. Nice pure white over some of that grey. Get on there. And slightly sit that back. Now I just put a little bit of other extra busy small stuff there just to give the sky a complete look. Now we're going to have stuff in front of this. So this was the first layer. Now we're going to bring some beautiful stuff in front of it now, waterfall. But I'm finished with all my blending. The rest is just going to be scrumbling, painting on top of different colours and detailing, okay, down at the bottom here. So let's dry this so we don't get our other colours bleeding with it. Now I've got some sap green on my palette there. I'm just putting some water mist over those paints so they don't dry, just in case I need to go back to them. We've got no medium in this, just a little bit of water to loosen it up. And where's the top of my hill? I had a pencil line there. It was roughly around here somewhere. And we'll get this one over there somewhere there. Just so I've got somewhere to block in. I'm going to block in pretty much all this to be a green. Pretty much down here. Alright, we've got the green blocked in. Now I'm going to create some of these canopies. So I'm just going to detail bits of umbrella shapes here. I'll get the floor a bit more realistic, nature looking. This is just blocking in, remember. And then I'm using this flat filbert brush to create some of these canopies up here, okay? So by now your painting should look like this. You've got the forest green blocked in it. Now you want some air in between these canopies because you've got to see through it to give it that realistic look. You don't want them all solid. And if anything, they're pointing through the middle. Now we'll block in the water for rock. Now for me rock, I've just got a smaller filbert and I'm going to map it in with I've got burnt umber, black and white. I'm going to get a bit of white because I want some of this. I want two values of this. I just had to move my camera. Now we're just blocking this value of browns in here. Now I haven't cleaned the brush. I'm going to pick up the actual raw umber now without any white in it, because while we're blocking in we'll get the water done. Now the water down here, it's not going to be the reflection of the sky because it's like a lake up in the hills somewhere. Just getting some of that black, not too much, and I want to make a darker value of this with the black. Now we want to get some, oh that's a bit wet, so what I'll do, sorry my bad, I'll brush that back out, I'll dry it so as we're not going to have our colours scratching and moving the way we don't want them to move. So I want sort of this corner here a bit dark, merging over here into the water, and probably some patches here. I'm picking up some more of that darker value and I want to get it into the probably the waterfall area, so if anything we're getting ridges. I think it was bits of rock movement up there like that. I've just mixed some white with that, just so I can get some kind of different light hitting this rock. So we've probably got a ledge there and something cascading down here. So what I think I'll do, I'll grab my stick for this. Where are we? I'm going to put some sort of ledges just to create a, so I'll darken them in. Okay, then I'll put that highlight there. So we've got some sort of ledges stepping up this waterfall, probably another one somewhere here. Coming down, I want it dark there. And the same, probably just a little one here. So put the dark in first. You can come over the waterfall, scratch him in this way. Okay, I've just got the black, so I've done these 3 wedges here and pulled them down. I'm just getting some blacks where I want to go, and then we'll go back to the water and fix that up. So we'll just get all this done here, lighter, merge it up into there. And if it's too chalky like that top bit is, grab some of your darker one again and just come back over it. Where are we? Just play with it backwards and forwards. I've got some of the white marbled in with that brown, and let's say here we want to keep the dark but just sort of scratch some rocky, keep the dark because we're going to have some foliage growing on there. Just subtle, I don't want it too bright, turns your painting into a cartoon. this is water, so I want to get some sort of light reflection from there coming down, and just a little bit of the vine, this greenery will be with this, okay. And just to finish the water, I'm picking up some of the raw umber and a bit of the lighter colour of it, just like that. Put the light at the top just so we can get some, oh, where's the darker colour? Let's adjust your brush. That's it, we want some dark stones out there with some smaller as you go out and come in bigger. Because here, we don't want the highlight too bright. Dark on one side and a bit of a dirty white on the other. And then we'll just get the front ones in first, wherever you've got to go. Cross bond them as you lay them in. If you feel your top's a bit too bright, dull it down a bit. Okay, let's get some more out here. The dark isn't picking up enough, so I'll do it there again. There we go. Because I think you need darks in between these rocks to give them a sense of realism. Now we've finished these foreshore rocks, we'll just put our waterfall in and start constructing that. So I'm going to use the titanium white, but we don't want it just pure white, so I'm going to get a bit of the blue that's left over on the palette there and mix up some contaminated. Now, I want the water coming over here and then down, okay? And I want it pretty much, let's see how my stick works. Get there. It doesn't have to be a straight, I mean it's got to be straight, but it doesn't have to be the one straight line, if you know what I mean. You can come off, and we're going to come, well, I like to come just past that line there a bit. Okay, now we're pretty much, so what I'll do is I'll construct this. I want to sort of have it water doing that before we put the rest of it in, okay? How's that looking? That's fine. Now we'll get the sort of scratchy bits coming down. Get there. Water's coming down from such a long height on this one, so what we need to do, let's make sure that's reasonably level there. Well, not too thick though. It's starting to break. Nice thin ones of these would be beautiful. Now I've picked up my munted up flathead brush here that I'm going to use. I've put paint in it, and I just want to create the mist coming off such this long drop of water. So we've got some mist falling from here. I don't want the paint solid on here, so we're going to do some mist just like that in front of all that. That's why we needed the rocks done first. We'll grab that other brush, and alright, where's our water hitting? So it's hitting here, so we've got all this agitating here, we've got darkness behind, and when we crest this up with some white, it'll create the depth. So we want to get this behind there as well, and the water again, the dark watercolour. Now I've cleaned that same brush and I've got pure white in it now, so I want to create the detail within that wave with the pure white. And I know I want a nice punching bit here. Now I'm just detailing some of the water hitting these rocks out here. So I've probably got a bit of... That's pretty much the edge. And over here. Well, that's it. We've just got to detail our foliage over all the darks in the right appropriate areas. The water's done. I've just mucked around on camera putting the odd little line and just detailing it here and there a bit more. But you'll see now what I want to do with these rocks on the side here and how we turn this into a bit of magic as well. So what have we got for our greens? We've got forest green, cadmium yellow light and burnt umber. So we'll get a few values of this made up now with our cad yellow. Everything's detailed up there, and we want to put the mid-tone, if anything, on there, some branches, and then just highlight over those branches. Okay, so we'll start at the back of these and we'll nice fine little, bring some of these in the air as well, because that green we've got down here, this is going to be the depth for this, okay? So work out where you want to keep your darks. Now grabbing on a liner brush a amount of the burnt umber teased with the white. I'm going to start from the bottom, I suppose, and get some trunks up here. Now they can be in front of some of this. That's a bit better colour. Now put your branches in here where you want them to go, and we virtually, I'll get that blob off there, we virtually, hang on, let me get this, sync them back with the next colour of highlight. Okay, we'll finish putting the trunks in. Now we're going to grab this highlighter colour and grab yellow and mix with that. And we also need the dead wood colour. So we'll grab our brown and yellow and get that to the colour we want as well for our dead wood colour. So I'll just start off with the dead foliage colour, and I've got to create, it's a bit blobby, go thinner, so I'm pulling it off my brush. Take pride. Now I'm just getting the highlighted green with more yellow in it, and now we're going to go over the, if anything, the tops of these canopies and gingerly bring it down, and then it can come in front of some of these trunks as well. Alright, we're just ready for the lower half now, and just to mix things up a bit, I want to get a bit of, let's say, this in front, because if anything I want to feel the lights hitting the top of this and coming down. So I want to leave some darks in there and just get some of this. I almost forgot, I'm picking up the mid-tone one. These ridges here, I want some foliage on them coming down. How we going? We having fun? Got up to this stage yet? Now that can be dry. The good thing about this detailing these foliage is you can dry every layer so everything's going to sit on there beautiful and dominant. Alright, so now we just got to detail this. I'm going to freckle these lighter areas. I'm not going to worry about freckling this dark green because that dark colour is the depth already itself. Now just so I don't get crucified by the detail police, I'm just going to put some slight reflection detail in the water here. And where are we there? Probably somewhere just about there. Just a hint of detail in the water. Alright, I'm getting my deer foot and I want to detail some of this now. So nice, even, natural looking freckles all over this. Not too thick. If anything, I want to merge it from the dark green into the light green. That's all we need for there. Now we've got that ready for detail. Now what we need to do with all this, we just don't want to go willy-nilly stamping nice fine little leaves all over the place and not getting no structure or dimension in it. So what you need to do is to look at your piece. I'm looking at this. I'm going to leave those dark bits behind, but I'll bring this forward. So if anything, you're making like arches, where are we? In front of each other. So you can sort of see by the freckles that we've put on what's happening. Now, like I said about creating cups, like I did with my hands. See, I'm doing that and leaving the bottom open, okay? Same over where, well, we're going to bring this in front of those trees now. I've added more yellow in that mix. And I've got to get this brighter because this is the brighter section of the front here, not the, this is the darker section here. Picking up the dead grassy colour, and if anything we want that underneath the sort of, I like to have it, there's no particular way I suppose, but if anything I like to have it under the canopy shape and feathering up just little bits, because this colour adds the realism to your foliage. It makes the green look like real green. So underneath the canopy there and bleed it up gradually underneath. See, so we've got all these umbrellas, so to speak. So some of this can dance down into the dark area. Just finishing these little ledge growths here as well. Alright, I want to show you a fine example. There's our light patch there. I've gone over it a bit into the dark. I don't want to go right on the edge of it. And we're going to create our, let's say, umbrella shape to the top of it. Come past it a bit. This is just a simple way to remember how to highlight your areas, okay? Creating those sort of cups, because if you look in the other bits where the darks are, they look great. So we're going to put this another one around here, and then I'll let this cup, so to speak, or umbrella shape, be open at the bottom to create the depth. Just highlighting some of this now with a bit more yellow in the mix. And because this is a bit closer now, it's not way up in the air where those top canopies are, we could probably put some indication of trunks in here. Now let's quickly grab the dead stick colour to bring that to life as well. Under the canopy, blend it into that there. That's how I like to do it. You do yours the way you visually like the way yours is looking. Alright, I've mixed up that trunk colour again, and just probably to put in here just to show you what I mean. You know those shrubs you get mainly in dunes and watery areas? This is what I'm going to depict here with the way of all this. Nice and thin. They've got a lot of sticky mass trunks there like that. How's that looking in the monitor? Now I just have the medium tone here, and I want to get all this piculated in there. Now if anything, this is in my eyes, I think this is in front of that lighter colour. Alright, we've done this detail here with the green, the medium green. Now you need to look at it through a camera or something. Now I'm going to mute it with just a bit of white with this one, because this is a different value of green to what we're doing here. And look at it and work out, alright, I can see what's happening. These are sort of lacing over and hanging down. It's putting that colour we just put on behind this one. Just about finishing up on this side. I will do the other side off camera. Just the lightest touch. These tiers here, I'm just getting the shape of them back so those foliage there are not look like they're floating. I'm just using the black here. And virtually I'm going to put shadow under there, and then a scratch of highlights as well. Not too much, just something subtle, just to give it some life. We've got dark under all there. Just to finish this side off, I'm just putting the dead colour, the dried out colour, the burnt colour. Okay, pretty much done. Just to finish this off, I want to put a bit of a surface on the water. So I've got my little brush here. I'll just grab some white, smooth it across the palette like that. Pick up some of this on there and lightly sink this I'll just put an autograph on here. Alright, we'll put a frame on that. Oh, all me joints are getting old. Get off there, you. There we go. It's not too shabby. We've got a decent waterfall and we've got a realistic sky with some canopy trees above and some like vines and ivy and all sorts of stuff in the water. Alright, if you like what we've done today, be sure to tell your friends, put the thumbs up, check the links in the description below and subscribe to my channel. And if you don't like this, well, put your thumbs down and tell everybody, alright? Goodbye, good luck, and good on you!